Okay, so now we have an allied activation. I'll activate the 84th Infantry. So I'm just gonna flip that marker and we go ahead and roll the snafu. Oh wow, 5, that's definitely gonna be a partial, I think, or maybe even fail. Let's see, 5 minus 3 here from the fatigue and the coordination. That's actually 2. But we do have the +1 optimal distance modifier. So we're good. We're gonna get a partial activation. And that means that we can get to use, and since this formation is in prepared defenses, they can only get a partial. That's the best they could get. Now after you roll for snafu, you get rid of the coordination marker, which they've gotten because at some point before in the game, other allied units, they were mixed with other allied units, probably the 75th Infantry over here somewhere. So the next time they roll, we don't have to apply the coordination, unless they get a new coordination marker. So I will just immediately flip the headquarters to done, because when you are doing prepared defenses, if you remember, we've put the 84th Infantry in prepared defenses. You can only get 1 activation, and the best you can get is a partial activation. We have 3 artillery here, 4 here, divided, so that's 7 divided by 2, that's 3, because you round down. So we have 3 artillery points to spend on if we want to do barrages, we need to place an objective marker, and if we do that, we might risk getting some fatigue increase, but I think we should probably risk it. So the 116th have already acted. We should probably attack. I'm going to put the objective marker here. You have to put it on a hex where you have enemy units. You cannot put it between enemy units or something like that. So we could still actually barrage these guys, for example, if we want to. And the first thing I'm going to do is try to re-establish a support establishment safe path. So we have German armor value EZOX here, so we need to get a unit in there, and these guys cannot move because they're basically locked. You cannot move directly from one EZOC to another, but I think we could take this unit, flip it to its move side, so we now have 8 divided by 2. So they would have then 4 if they're halved. I mean, it's not great to be on the unprepared side, so you can see that they have neither an arrow nor an armor value there. So they have no zone of control. They cannot attack or assist an attack. They cannot use prepared defense, and they have no support present. But they could still spot for barrages, and they still count as a unit in a defender's hex, but so they're quite vulnerable. I think still we need to do that. So to get into the woods, that's 1 movement point for infantry, and then we're basically on the road here, so 1.5, 2. I don't need to do that actually. So we could move 1, and then 1.5, 2, and then we have re-established support into Marche-en-Famenne. And now let's do some artillery barrages. Although I think I should probably try to move some units over here. So it's 1, 2. I can maybe flip this guy to its move side. And then do 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 4. I don't have any zone of control, so it doesn't really matter if I put my myself there. Okay, let's do some barrages. Now the Americans, however, they can, because of a special rule in last Blitzkrieg, they can do 2 destruction missions per hex, actually, with their artillery. And if you remember, we also have all these air points up here. So I could use some extra artillery, sort of artillery points. So I will start by using this guy as a spotter to throw in a barrage in that hex. We'll use two artillery points there. So for the top unit, I think you basically just look at this very simple barrage table. It's a hard unit, the top unit in that stack. This guy. And I think maybe even the second unit is also a hard unit. No. Yeah, so it's the color. The yellow background in the NATO symbol means it's a hard unit. It's basically just harder to kill with artillery. So we need 6s to inflict hits on that. So we get 2 dice on the top unit because of 2 artillery points used. No hits there. And then in the second we get 2 rolls, and it's a terrain hex. So for terrain and or prepared defenses, we hit on 4 to 6, 2 dice. And that's 1 hit on that bottom unit. That's the first barrage. We've used 2 barrage points in that hex using the American special ability. Let's try to hit this hex as well. So this again, it's open. It's an open hex. So here the artillery will hit on a 3. So for the top unit we roll a 2. Okay, no hit on the top unit, and then a 6 on the bottom unit. So we do get 1 hit with the artillery on the bottom unit. So we've done 1 artillery point in that hex as well. We could use some air points. I'll spend 1 air point, remove that, and bombard here. That's a 6, that's a reduction. Using these guys as spotter. We could. These guys are still in an objective zone, within 2 hexes from the objective marker, so we could spot with these guys and use 1 air point there as well. I'll do that. That's a hard unit, so it only hits on 6s. We get a 6. And that German Panzer unit is down to its last step. Okay, I think that's probably it for I don't know, maybe I'll put this unit behind the stream there. And I should probably try to get back these units over here. For example, so this guy will move 1, 2 in the woods. Now he has a zone control on that road there. It's pretty good for stopping infantry at least. And this guy, so we have forest here, woods is that, and then this is the darker one is forests, and the forests are 2 movement points for the purpose of infantry movement factors. So it will be 2 to go there. I wonder if they might have a safe path now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes. So the safe path has to be. We have the command radius plus 5 hexes. That's the longest you can have a safe path, and they are basically back in where they could establish support. Okay, I moved this one, I moved that one. I could try to do a voluntary retreat with these guys, although they are kind of blocking this road here. That's not bad actually. But these guys though, I think I will try to do a voluntary retreat. 1, 2, 3. They have to retreat 3 hexes and then flip to their move side. And when you do voluntary retreat, you also lose a step. I guess they could retreat there. They can't go here because we have an enemy zone of control here. They can't really go anywhere except up here. So I'll do that. They do a voluntary retreat. And we have to lose a step. And we have to flip to our move side. Do I want to do that here? 1, 2, 3. No, I can't go there. Can't get the units over here. That's 2, 3. I can't go there. I think I will just have to stay with this unit here. And that's the end of the 84th Infantry. Let's see if they roll for fatigue. So in this case, they didn't do any attacks, so they only increased fatigue on a 1. And I rolled a 2, so no fatigue increase. And that's the end of the 84th Infantry activation. Let's see if the Allies do get another one. No, it's also a 1. So it's time for another German activation. Now maybe it's time to activate the 9th Panzer and see if we can finally take Marche-en-Famenne or not.